Hello and welcome back to Too Candid. This is episode 4.
Number 4.
And to be honest, we're doing quite well so far.
I am very happy and proud of us that we have continued this far. I agree. I have a habit of starting something with every intention of completing and then stopping, and that is my,
It's a character flaw.
It's a character flaw, but it's fine because I'm heading another episode, so I'm definitely, on a good runner here. And today, the episode I wanted to, Leah doesn't know what we're talking about either.
Oh, no, I don't.
This is fresh. But it's things that families do that you don't think's weird when you're in that family, but it's actually quite weird.
Okay.
And I found 5 or 6 that I'm going to talk about because I read them and I was like, oh yeah, I do that, or oh no, I don't do that. That's weird.
Wait, you went, oh no, I don't do that.
Gasp. Yeah, pretty much. So, and I wanted to start off big because going through the internet, this story seems to be known. It's like the poop story. And I was like, oh my God, how does and people kept referencing back to it. So I thought, yeah, we got to talk about it, like the first big one. Are you ready? Are you strapped in? Are you ready to go?
Right.
My family poops big. Maybe it's genetic, maybe it's our diet, but everyone births giant logs of crap. It has...
Sorry, I can't take you seriously.
Is it that?
Wait, I didn't have any idea what this episode was going to be about. Never mind that we're actually sitting here talking about crap.
Mega poops.
Yeah, you're really going strong here, Sophie.
Oh, why am I crying?
I'm so confused. Why are we talking about poop?
Okay, let me continue. You'll see where this is going.
I mean, I love talking about poop. I just didn't think that this is what was going to happen.
To be fair, when I read it in my head, I was like, yeah, I can easily say this without laughing. Yet, second line failed. Okay. If anyone has
Oh my God.
It's so hard to convey their message without messing it up. Okay. If anyone has laid a mega poop, you know that sometimes it won't flush. Growing up, this was a common enough occurrence that our family had a poop knife. It was an old, rusty kitchen knife that hung on the nail in the laundry room, only to be used for that purpose. It was normal to walk through the hallway and have someone call out, "Hey, can you grab me the poop knife?" I thought it was standard kit. You have your plunger, your toilet brush, and your poop knife.
Oh, what? That's not normal. That ain't normal.
Honestly, so many people on the internet know about this poop knife story. When I read it, I was like, nah, surely that's a joke. Literally been going on for some time on the internet, and people are like, oh my God, no, this story is just like the poop knife story.
But are they bleaching the poop knife after use?
Oh yeah, well, especially if it's going to hang up. It just have streaks. Streaks of shit going down. Maybe they have a poop knife tea towel or towel that they then have to wipe the excess.
It actually made me gag my eyes watering.
That's weird. Our family just had a standard toilet brush.
Yeah, but that's...
Your poops have blocked my toilet before. And maybe I need to invest in a poop knife.
Can I just say, one, it's because you've got an issue with your toilet. It's got nothing to do with the size of my poop. 2, how dare you? How dare you think you can just announce it to the world without any consent? Where was the consent for that?
I'm actually crying.
Sophie, your toilet has an issue. It ain't me. Because can I just say, I've never done a big poo around your house.
I'm actually crying.
Can I just say, I'm one of those people, yeah? I can only poo comfortably in my own house. So the only time I'll poo is when I don't have a choice. And can I just say, I would actually like to clear this up for the internet because maybe I can do a big poo, but I'm telling you, I have not done a big poo around this house. It's because you have a really weird... You even said you knew you had a weird toilet issue. So how dare you?
However, my toilet is a bit weird. I acknowledge that. Like...
Because I would like to say, I've never blocked my own toilet at home and I've done massive poos. So don't tell me. Sure, at one time I felt like I was giving birth. I swear to God. Afterwards, I felt like I wouldn't be able to sit down on a sofa because the remote would just go.
Oh my God, it's when you do a poo so big that like your butt hasn't gone back to like after the...
Okay.
I haven't pooped that big, just saying. Oh, I was like, when you poop so big...
Okay, you're like, no, it's just so big and it doesn't go back down to normal. But that's never happened to me. Okay.
Credit on the internet.
Why are we talking about poo, Sophie? You really...
It's funny.
You have
Poo is
really
funny.
brought this podcast down.
Oh, but so poo knives aren't a common thing. They're not.
No. No, the fact it got to the point where they had to dedicate a knife. They were like, this is... Guys, from now on, I'm going to hang this knife at the back of the door.
So poop knives are weird, is what we're saying, right? I don't think I know of anyone that has poop knives.
Yeah, that's not normal.
Say we're actually going to talk normal about this poop knife, right? Are they having to cut it up?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Like no one Fruit Ninja when you used to play on it.
The thing is, though, I feel like they should maybe change their diet.
But what, maybe it's like your toilet, where your toilet just actually isn't like, it's weird the way your, I don't know what this is. The way your toilet is, it's just not a normal toilet.
It's a normal toilet. It got installed last year.
Maybe what they should do is just cut out all this like aggravation.
Bucket.
I was going to say, go to the garden, dig a hole, and then just fill it back in.
With the poop knife.
No, but that can't be sanitary.
Well, I think as long as it gets bleached, I just think the whole concept is weird.
But then if you think about it, like, you're going to then bleach the handle, but then how do you wash your hand? But then everything you're touching is then going to become contaminated.
And also as well, why would you go and hang that up in the laundry room where things are clean? Like, and your poop knife, and it sounds like it gets used a lot. Oh, hey, can someone pass me the poop knife?
But then I'm just really confused on the actual logistics of it. Because, like... Have you put the toilet roll in and then you've got your pants up and then you're trying to do it? Because clearly they don't, for them to have to ask someone else to bring it to them. But then...
I didn't even think about
Where are they putting the knife in the meantime? Because they can't bleach it if they've still got their knickers by their ankles. Like...
I feel like I need more information.
The logistics don't work.
It doesn't add up. That's dirty. I'd never shit in their toilet or touch anything in their toilet.
Well, like... look, if it works for them, it works for them. But, like, I just don't understand. But then, why don't they just, like, use, like, a toilet brush? Or, like, a plunger?
What, to break it down?
Oh, why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about this subject? I don't mind talking about it in my free time, but I mean, on a podcast, I just feel like this, you know.
But this is weird things that family do that aren't actually normal. And I think...
Yeah, that's not normal.
There was a reason I put this at the top of the list. I felt like it was the creme de la creme of weird.
Shockers.
I think it was just, the best way to start this episode. And if you're still with us, I don't think there's any more mention of poop, so...
Okay, so they didn't expect, that was it.
That was it, literally, but the poop knife is like a legacy in the internet.
Oh, but then what happens, yeah? Let's say, because it's not actually designated in the bathroom, it's in like the laundry room, what if they go away and then someone comes around and go, oh, what's this weird knife? Like someone comes around to clean or look after something, tidying up, and then they're like, oh, this would be perfect for this cake I've just baked.
No, they said rusty. If someone's making you a cake...
but then it's rusty. But then...
Wait, did they say rusty?
What about when visitors come round?
It's a rusty knife.
But then, yeah...
That's why they put it in the laundry room, so it's away from the actual toilet.
But then do they explain it to visitors? Oh, but then they're saying it's because of the size.
Why would they not go, I need to go for a poo. Let me pick up my knife now. That should be in a box.
No, but then
with
the box
bleach.
gets contaminated. Yeah, oh.
No, that weird. A big old weird, I'm afraid.
I just feel like I'm never going to pee around your house again. You've done it now. I'm not flushing your toilet no more.
Do you know what? Do you know what's worse? Someone has actually pooed in my toilet before.
Wait, sorry. Full stop. We don't use the toilet for that.
We have a garden.
Only number ones.
Oh. For some people are like that, isn't they? Like in the family, you're not allowed to flush wees, only poo-poos.
This is my favourite thing, yeah? If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
That's another thing I think is weird because, and I'll tell you why, pee smells. If someone hasn't drunk enough water and then if someone like pees the night before, James has done this before, and then you walk into the bathroom the next day and you're like, you can just smell it. Pee should be flushed.
I don't know what kind of house you're living in, where you're just walking in the bathroom the next...
Okay, let's move on.
Please, can we move on?
So, one time I slept over at my neighbour's house as a kid and his mum allowed him to wear diapers so he didn't have to use the bathroom.
Like how
we
old?
were 9. 9 years old.
That's wrong. That's lazy. Wait, sorry. Why? That's child abuse.
Why did you take such a deep breath before? Asthma?
Yeah, sorry. It's the wheeze. No, that's actually child abuse. Because I'm sure that 9-year-old would rather go to the toilet and feel clean than have to do it in the nappy and lay in it all night until the next day.
But this is the thing. To them, it's normal.
But that's why it's child abuse. Because to that child, they're like, because they're used to it. That's not normal. That's lazy parenting.
Oh, absolutely not. Like, that child should be toilet trained. And don't get me wrong, I don't know what age the bedwetting age should stop. But
Sophie's was quite late. I'll just like to throw that out there.
no, it wasn't.
Oh, really? You didn't used to try and wee in the cat litter box?
Okay, I used to sleepwalk. You're such a dick. Just because I brought up your toilet. So, when I get stressed or just I get sleep paralysis, I sleepwalk and I sleep talk. And when I was younger, really young, I haven't done this part for a long time, but I used to pick flowers in my sleep. I used to sit up, bolt up and pick flowers. And my dad knew if I was doing that he'd have to get me to the toilet, like I needed to go for a wee. And this one time I slept walked to go to the toilet and there was, you know, like it was like a posh one. It was like covered. It wasn't just the tray itself. And my dad walked out. I must have been 9. We was in the old house.
Yeah.
So it was before we moved to like Essex, and literally, my dad caught me pulling my trousers down to go for a wee. I thought, like, what parent, when there is sleepwalking children in the house, puts the cat litter box right next to the door to the bathroom? They were asking for it. I didn't pee though. I made it to the toilet.
Yeah, only because Dad grabbed you and moved you.
Yeah, and there's people who get drunk and pee in cupboards, like James when he was drunk.
Okay, well, stop throwing everyone onto the bus. Just let people live, god damn it. And do you know what? I remember being younger when Sophie used to do this, and for some reason, something inside of me was like, why is she getting all the attention? So I remember one night, I was lying in bed and I was like, I'm going to sleepwalk. So I literally stood up, closed my eyes, and was trying to walk around. Obviously, no one could hear me, so no one even knew I was up. And I purposely tried to walk into a wall to make it realistic that I was sleepwalking when I was awake.
But this is the thing. When you sleepwalk, you don't walk into... I don't know about other people, but I seem to navigate the house pretty well. I end up in the garden once here.
So, okay, right, we really drifted.
We are just out in ourselves today.
Yeah. But that is actually, I would say that's like child abuse because you're making them sit in their own crap.
Yeah, well, can you poo between the hours of 9 and 6?
But also, what's the reason for him to not get up in the middle of the night? Is it to not wake her up?
Yeah, there is more.
Selfish.
Yeah, I think you're right on the whole child abuse thing. I think it is, as a whole, very weird.
Don't have children if you don't want to treat them like people. Do you know what I mean? There's a reason why baby wear... I lost my sentence. I could see her running away from me and I was trying to get it.
I'm running back.
But there's a reason why nappies are made for like babies or old people that can't control their bowels. Like if you can control your bowel, you should be able to go to the toilet. And yeah, it's just honestly, some parents.
Also, as well, it's sad that he's having people over to stay, people that are school friends and that, and the mum knows it's not right, and yet the embarrassment he's going to get because kids talk.
If they're having a sleepover and he does a crap in his nappy, his friend is going to sleep and smell that.
Again, Leah, I don't really think your bowels operate between, like, I don't poop at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, but if you think about it, if he's used to being able to just go in his nappy,
He
then he doesn't need to hold back anything. But even if it's sweet, that's still going to stink.
Yeah.
But as well, like, how long is she planning to keep this up for? When he's 14? When he's 15? When he's 18? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, when is he going to realise this isn't right?
Sadly, I think the only way is when he finds out from other people that it's not normal, like the poop knife thing, like this thing. It's only when you start having conversations with people and you're like, oh, no, that's not... Like, for example, what people name things in their household as well. Like, for example, kitchen roll.
Sorry, how have you got to this? I don't understand the link.
Look, listen, kitchen roll, we called poly roll our whole life growing up. And then when, obviously, I got with James, I was 18, 17, and I said to him, oh, can you pass me the poly roll? And he was like, what the fuck is poly roll? And it was only at that point that I realised it wasn't called poly roll. It's like people have different names for remotes, and it's only when you start having conversations with people that you realise that what you do in your little household bubble isn't actually normal sometimes.
I don't even know how you've made that connection. Sophie, it was a bit different.
No, I just meant, like, it...
I just don't know it was kitchen roll. Like, what? This is the other half of the podcast that I'm dealing with. But I think it's worse as well because, like, look, when we were 9, we didn't have phones.
No.
We were very innocent. We looked like 9-year-olds, first of all.
Still do look like 9-year-olds.
I'm trying to look as young as possible. I'm 26 soon, so... But...
2 days.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
My birthday's tomorrow.
Oh, it was Friday.
Awful, sister. Oh my god, so this actually goes out on my birthday, this episode. So when you're watching this, it's actually my birthday and I'm 26. Oh my god, it just goes downhill. Anyway, so yeah, like 9-year-olds these days, like it's scary. Like they're all looking older than they should. They're acting a lot older. Sometimes I just think, 9-year-olds are taller than me. Do you know, 9-year-olds are taller than me. I'm 5'1", it's so sad. But as well, yeah, like look, they're all got phones as well. So you think they like might, what if they take a picture of him? Or if they like just like make a WhatsApp group? I don't, do they use WhatsApp? I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, going back to like that though, I think it's because when we were younger, you had to like live through the awkward stage of trying to figure out what you wanted to be. Whereas like, unless you had older siblings, you didn't really see like what was going on. So whereas they can see how people dress and how people talk and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think by the sounds of it, this was written a long time ago because a 9-year-old shouldn't be on Reddit. But yeah,
We don't know these days. Probably are.
But yeah, I'd say like you, it's kind of like child abuse.
It's weird.
If I'm honest.
That ain't even just a weird thing, that's wrong.
Wrong on many levels.
Okay, next one.
Right, I feel like you might be sick on the next two if I know what you're like.
Let me prepare. Yeah.
When we had dinner as a family, if you took a bite that was too hot temperature-wise, the rest of the family would blow in your mouth until it cooled off. To this day, my brothers and I wonder why our parents let us do this.
Okay, we actually did something weirder. I can't even judge him. Because when you got something hot, yeah, like I do it quite a lot. I'll put something in my mouth and normally it's quite...
Leah, I never blew in your mouth.
I'm not talking about that. But I normally take quite a big chunk. Like, I'm talking recent, not that. And literally, these days, if I put something really, like, big in my mouth...
Our parents watch this podcast.
My allergies are making me wheeze. If I was going to put hot food in my mouth, but like a big spoonful or forkful of it, Yeah, it gets hot, doesn't it? So what do? You panic. You're like, and sometimes you have to spit it out, which, to be fair, is not graceful. And then you have to decide, like, do I eat that bit again or do I just leave it? Is it gone? But when we were younger, do you remember? This is where you got to be like, oh my God, okay, it's worse. So basically, I've not been very good with spice or anything like that. If I have chewing gum, it makes me like sneeze, it makes my eyes all white, it's really bad. But I used to find chewing gum really hot. Like, no, if it was just too strong, too like minty, I used to be like, so basically, but I did want the chewing gum. And I was little. So what Sophie used to do, she used to get the chewing gum, chew it until the mintiness had gone and give it to me. And I used to put it in my mouth and chew the rest of the chewing gum. That is worse than what they're doing. We can't judge.
It was against my will. I didn't want to. Literally, if I put a chewing gum in, Leah would be like, "Can I have that?" I had no choice. She's practically got her hand in my mouth.
Oh, don't lie.
Leah,
Don't lie. It was a business transaction.
I got nothing back. You took my chewing gum.
But don't lie about it.
It's different if I was offering a service for it, Leah. There was no transaction. You were taking my chewing gum out my mouth.
Can I just say, I'm 3 years younger than you. Don't tell me I forced you. Okay? Do not tell me I forced you.
Leah, can I just say, you're a very strong child, and you still are to this day. You are scrappy. This is coming from... She says this, right? She bullied me growing up, yeah? Literally, this one time she didn't get what she wanted. And, like, say, like, this was my phone that I got to go to school. Because I had to go quite far for school, and I didn't give her something she wanted, and she had a tub of Sudocrem, yeah? She got my phone, and she said, if you don't do this, this phone is going in here. And I was like, Leah, please don't, I need that phone. And she was like,
But did I give you time to rectify?
So at what, yeah, you're saying though, that's a business transaction that I was fully aware. These are the repercussions I got. When we went to Portugal, Leah put a bunch of sun cream on the stairs, and I slipped down it and smacked my back every way down.
Can I just say I was like 3 years old at the time?
Yeah, so the evil
that
part-
does not count. But can I just say, when you're little, yeah, and you're the youngest, you have to be that way because people don't take you seriously. But guess what? Next time I said to you, can you do this? Or I'm putting in the cream. What are you going to do? You're going to be like, damn it, she's going to do it, so I better do it. Do you know what I mean? But can I just say, that is actually really weird. We should probably post on that group because that's actually really weird. And I've never heard of anyone else doing that. We've just outed ourselves. That's weird.
Can I just say, Leah, you outed us. I was going to take that story to my grave. And I'm not posting it on Reddit. And if I find this on Reddit, I'm reporting your ass.
But, so we can't judge... Right, let me blow in your mouth.
No!
Okay, you blow in my mouth.
No! All I'm saying is, like you said, if something was hot, they could have just spat it out themselves, or they could have themselves. They did not need everyone to back... They didn't need that.
Okay, to be fair, they should probably just be like, I don't know, more organised, maybe bring a drink to the table. But I could just imagine it just reminds me of like birds like forming like an alliance to me. But imagine, like, yeah, why are they not spinning out or drinking? They're just like, guys, formation! You know what to do. We're going to keep that potato in your mouth. Like, that is...
Yeah, we are living in a post-pandemic world. You just blew in my mouth.
I missed. But next time you're asleep, I might get like a little straw if your mouth isn't open properly.
Can I just say, being one of 4 sisters, I think I'm the one that gets walked over the most. As you can see, I said, Leah, I do not give you consent to blow in my mouth, and she did. And then another time, my sister, she knows I hate feet. I have a real phobia of feet. I don't like them. I always wear socks. I'm not a fan of feet. They make me feel really uncomfortable. No offence to people that do like feet. I just don't like them. And she was like, Sophie, what? And I was looking at my phone, and I turned. And as I turned, she stuck her foot in my mouth. This is what I have to live with. And you wonder why I did the chewing gum thing.
Just imagine you chewing. I just want this to be over. But to be fair, like, you didn't get the disgusting... I've outed myself. You don't get the disgusting part because you just had a normal chewing gum. I took your saliva chewing gum and put it in my mouth and I chewed it so I could chew no more.
Was you one of those kids that, like, under the desk was chewing gum, you'd be like...
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
I'm really enjoying this episode.
Oh god, you know what? This is the worst one we've done. This is the worst one we've done.
No, the next one is going to make you be sick. Do not look at my screen. Do not look at my screen. So yeah, I think it's weird that your family blew in your mouth, but I can't. I cannot be hypocritical in this time.
I actually think it was quite nice. I might offer it the next.
Do you know what it reminds me of? You know, in the Simpsons movie, when he goes to that lady and she's like blowing air in his mouth.
Oh yeah. Let's normalise this.
No, let's not. We've just gone through a pandemic. We don't need another one. So this makes me feel sick as well. But I feel like, again, this is weird things that families do that not everyone does, and that's what we're talking about.
Okay, just say it.
Not me or my family, but 2 friends of mine who are parents suck the snot and boogers out of their kids' noses with their mouth instead of using tissues to have them blow it out. They then go and spit it in the trash or sink afterwards. I gagged like a motherfucker the first time I witnessed it. So literally, when the baby's got a snotty nose, they're like...
No, yeah, that's wrong. Look, I get loads of people do things, yeah, like for their children, and they obviously get like desensitized to like pogies and snot and poo and wee and throw up. But that's just why.
There's contraptions for that, which don't cost a lot of money.
You can literally
I'll send you one. You don't need it.
You can get that little like thingy, can't you? That like sucks you out, or like just a tissue. Why do you mean like?
I just thought
I'm the man for the job. I don't get it.
Also, like at what stage were they like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to do this, like, and done it for the first time? They were definitely bogey eaters growing up.
But I don't understand. And then, but like I'm trying to think, like.
Don't you dare! I draw the line.
But I just don't understand. I don't understand how you. Well, how would you?
Well, a baby's a lot smaller, isn't
obviously a
it?
baby. But then when do you draw the line and stop with that? But then, like, if you think about it, like, yeah, they're your child and you love them, but that's their like the snot, like.
No, you would never catch me doing that. Even like the sucker thing makes me feel sick. Like, someone needs to have an intervention and tell them that that's not okay.
But yeah, like, how long do you actually do that for? But the fact that they've then got to get up to go spit in the bin, I bet they're not brushing their teeth after. They never said, oh, they then go and brush their teeth or use mouthwash. They just like spit in the bin, carry on with their day.
Don't remember eating.
No.
Oh my god, imagine when you like floss. Like, it's just like a bogey, just.
No, this isn't normal. Even when when you see people, like, I have a real thing about seeing people with their fingers up their nose. I don't like it. I understand probably everyone goes up there for a pic. Not saying that people don't, but don't do it in public and don't do this to your children because that's weird. However, the fact that they said instead of using tissue to have them blow it out means that these kids aren't babies. The fact that they've said there is another option.
What, do you think they could be like 1.5?
I think they could probably be like 2, 3.
Right, let's not speculate because we don't know for sure.
Maybe they like the taste.
Salty.
Yeah.
Are bogies salty?
I don't know, probably. Everything, like, tears are salty, aren't they? That was my logic. If tears are salty, then. I would just like to say I have never ever tried a bogey.
I think she just outed herself.
No, I just actually wanted to clarify. I never have. Because I don't even like tasting my own tears. I know when you like they run down. No, when they run down and actually go in your mouth sometimes when you're crying. For God's sake, now I feel like it's gonna look like I have eaten a bogey and I never have.
This one is proper PG. It's okay. You're not gonna gag.
Okay.
For Christmas, my mum has to give out the presents from under the tree one at a time, and we all have to sit there and watch that one person open their present, admire it, and they then say thank you, and then it's on to the next person.
Why?
It makes a present giving out part of the day last a good few hours, but they really love it.
I can't think of anything worse. Like, don't get me wrong. I know it sounds weird because we uploaded YouTube videos and that.
Hey, people watching me.
But I don't like to be the centre of attention. Do you get what I mean? I don't like to be the centre. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm confident and I like to like post and stuff like that. But if everybody's eyes was just on me and I had to like have a reaction to opening a present, the pressure for me to like that present would be too much.
And even if you like the present, you'd come off really awkward.
You just feel awkward. Yeah.
So I can actually speak about this because in our household growing up, what our mum used to do is we used to have like piles, and then they used to not what's this coming out my butt? We used to have piles of presents, and then we would just watch it, and like mum and dad would have a bag and like pick up all the paper. But we didn't have to do that.
Yeah, no.
It was just kind of like present giving was over very quickly. Then we spent half the day playing with the box and not the present itself. To be fair,
Are you a cat?
no, like kids do that. They like make forts and that. But however, when I had my first Christmas at James's house, his family do that.
Oh.
So they go round and they hand out, and the first time I was like, I don't want to do this. I just, and they know I don't like it. Like, I don't like being the centre. Like, I'm opposite of you even in confidence. Like, I hate it. So I sit there and I hate surprises. I don't like them. I get they're lovely for some people. It makes me anxious.
Okay.
Big ball of nerves over here. But yeah, go on.
I'm listening. Okay, just say it to me. I'm interested.
But yeah, when it doesn't last hours, because obviously we're all adults now, there's no kids in the family or anything like that. But yeah, I find it really uncomfortable, and they know that. And then after a present, I like to give people a hug and say thank you. And then it's awkward when you're like, oh, thank you. And then you go, and they've got you another one. You're like, but I've just hugged you. And now I have to get up and then hug you again. And if you don't get up and hug someone, I'm like, is someone going to feel like I'm rude? But I'm the person, when I go around their house, when everyone serves dinner, I have to be the last one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just really
How many
funny.
carrots can you take?
Yeah. Even now, after like 11 years, I do not like the one at a time present thing. No offence,
Yeah.
Linda, I just don't like it.
No, do you know what? I'm even like you with the food thing. Like, I'd much prefer somebody just like put stuff on a plate and give it to me, and I'll just take it and eat it. Like, I don't like everyone in a line, and then I'm like, do you know what I mean? Because you're like trying to work out the proportions. You like got calculations in your head. You're like, this divided by this. No, just put it on a plate and I'll just shove it in my mouth, and then when it gets too hot, just blow in it.
I'm ready. No, but literally, I don't like this one, and I do think it is weird that people do that. Like, I know everyone has their own family traditions, but growing up in a household where we did the free-for-all, I liked that better.
Well, to be fair, I wouldn't say this is weird, especially not compared to the other ones you bloody said. But it's just different dynamics, isn't it? I know that, I've heard of some people where they do that in the past, but I'd rather just have your presents, sit there, open them, and then all reconvene. Because then it's like, why are you focusing so much on what people are giving you?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, I love giving presents. Like, I really put a lot of thought into presents. Whereas sometimes, like, I think too much about if that person likes that gift that I've got them because of how much, like, I've thought about it. And then I think that puts, like, pressure on people. And I'm like, I can't watch. I just go on my phone or something.
And as well, I think no kids they can get so overwhelmed with presents these days, especially because like kids get more and more presents each year. But it's like sometimes kids don't have the best reaction to stuff because sometimes they've got so many toys, they're so jaded. There's like, it's actually probably going to be more hurtful for you to sit there and open it, and they're like, okay, and it turns out the stuff.
Do you remember that that kid was like, oh, an avocado.
Yeah.
Thanks. I agree. Some kids just, but yeah, it's just we're all family different dynamics. But yeah, I'm not a fan of it. And to be fair, when I have kids, I'll probably just be like, this is yours, that's yours. Yeah, everyone open it at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, but then you're just making it all about presents then, aren't you? And is that what Christmas is about?
No, I guess.
It's, if they're a child as well, how are you going to grab their attention all that time if you have to sit there?
Hey.
Here, sit. Here's a treat.
Right, you can tell you're a dog mum and nothing else. So sorry, that came out so... Ouch. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I said that. I could have just said, dog mom. That's where the line was. I could have just said dog mom. But I just had to keep going.
Anyway, next one. Growing up, we never travelled on the same plane as a family, just in case. My mum and sister went on one flight and my dad and I on another.
Do you know what? Ultimately, you'd be like, that's weird. But actually, it does make sense. Because, but then, to be fair, if you lost half your family in a plane crash, it'd be
Would
pretty
you wanna
hard to carry
survive?
on. Yeah.
I know as well, I think because I think into everything and anything, like if I was like, okay, so who am I going with, mum and dad? And then I made that choice of, oh, I'm going with dad, and then mum died, I'd be like, oh my God, I killed my mum. Do you know what I mean? Like in my head, I would be like, my actions have dictated my mother dying. Yeah. Or if my mum chose Leah and not me, and then I died, I wouldn't be aware, but I'd be like, fucking hell, like
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
On the way down,
I would be fuming.
on the way down I would. Like, wow, this answered the who was the favourite.
So instead of being scared, you'd be, oh, I knew I should have gone
I'm
that
just going to write a strongly worded email. Mother.
Oh my God. But then, to be fair, I feel like if you were that worried about it, I think I'd rather just get like some boats, some trains.
You can drown.
ferry. Oh God. Oh my God.
Ferry can crash, drown, Titanic.
But then,
Train off the tracks.
But then, do they do this for every single trip?
or is it only like?
I think
really
it's
long
just
distance?
planes.
Just planes.
Because she only said when we never travelled on the same plane. But I understand this. I actually had a conversation with something similar the other day, because obviously we have to do a will. Like when you have a mortgage, you have to, and I keep putting it off because I'm like, I don't want to jinx it. But you are supposed to have a will, and obviously like who would go to Ralph? Who would Ralph go to? Probably you.
Thank you.
If you ever get rid of my dog,
Oh, okay.
I'll
He's
call
going
her
to
ass.
the town.
And my cats, who would go to my cat?
I can't have the cats, I'm allergic. They would kill me.
And Linda's allergic. Anyway, and we were talking about this, and I was like, oh my God, like the reason you have a will, obviously, is if you all die at the same time, who has the kids, who has the dogs, who has the money, who has this, who has that. And then I was like, but how do you avoid this? And they were like, take separate planes, take separate boats. And I was like, oh, like I didn't think.
Wait, is that what they said?
No, like unless you were to take separate things, normally if you're gonna die and that kind of thing, you're all gonna die together. And I think you're right. I think, would I rather die together? Probably.
But then as well.
I'd rather not die at all.
But then, I think as well, but by splitting the children in half as well, it's a bit different. I can understand maybe splitting... No, but that won't make sense. But if you're splitting the children, then you would feel bad if you survived, that you didn't take the other child too.
That was literally my point at the beginning. Thanks for listening.
No, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, the math ain't mathing. Like, if you're going to think with that way, then everything is going to drive you crazy. Do you know what I mean?
And it does.
Because regardless of planes, by you going to the toilet, not leaving when you did, could kill you.
It's called the butterfly effect, especially if you slip on the poop knife.
Oh, God. But, do you get what I mean? So it's like, if you're going to live your life to that extent, you're going to drive yourself crazy, because you probably have a higher chance of dying in a car crash than a plane crash.
And you're all together there anyway.
Exactly. Unless they're not.
Yeah. I thought people might do this, but I didn't realise people actually did this. I don't think I would do this.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. No.
No. Okay, cool. Last one. Okay. My family and I would frequently talk about our bowel movements. I had a conversation about it with one of my close friends, and they told me it wasn't normal at all.
Talk about their bowel movements. What's wrong with that?
Just in conversation, like some people are very closed off and reserved. I talk about anything and everything. If I'm on my period, everyone's gonna know I'm on my period. But so I don't think that's not normal. I talk about poo with a lot of people.
Do you know what? Sophie tells me about me even wanting to, like, I don't want to know. I have no interest. I don't bring it up. She just tells me. And to be honest, obviously, if you follow or you know, then our dad has stage 4 cancer. and there's like loads of different things that come with it that you wouldn't really even expect, do you? That like we didn't even know. And a thing we frequently ask him now is, have you done a poo? If you haven't, can you, what are they called?
Suppositories.
Dad, you haven't gone for a few days. Do you think maybe we should put a suppository in?
We don't do it.
Yeah, no,
He does it.
But yeah, so to us, I mean, even before that, to be fair, it was normal. Now it's just I actually have a weird. And you know what?
She once asked for a photo of it as proof.
Okay, so the thing is with Dad, yeah, like I try to be really on top of everything and know everything, and I feel like sometimes for example, yeah, if I'm asking him if he's gone to the toilet and he says he hasn't gone for a few days, I'm obviously getting worried because he's still having his feeding bag. So he's still having food in there, and I don't want it to then make him sick or cause any other issues. So then obviously I'm saying to him, okay, if you don't go by this time, then you have to put a suppository in. I know he doesn't want to put a suppository in. Sorry, Dad, this is quite a lot of information.
I know, I don't think Dad would want this out on the internet. But what she's trying to say is she does a very good job looking after our dad, and she has to ask about poop. And we talk about poop in our family, and we talk about things because we're an open family, and that's what you need to do to grow up to be very
open.
I couldn't figure. I literally just couldn't catch up with myself.
But yeah, to finish that story off,
I don't think Dad wants to have it on the internet, Leah. He's not here. Stop outing people.
Okay, right, let's move on.
But I don't think it's weird to talk about things because, especially bowel movements, it can dictate your health. Like if something's going wrong with your poop, normally there's a health issue, a gut issue, worms.
But I mean, to be honest,
Leah doesn't like talking about worms, and neither do I. So I don't know why I said it, but
I just don't like insects at all. And because I've got, like, sometimes I feel like I'm really bloated. So Sophie keeps sending me like, saying I've got
parasite.
She keeps telling me I've got a parasite in my stomach and sending me TikToks on it just because my stomach's a bit bloated, and I'm like, do I have a parasite?
earlier on she was like, "Oh, I have a headache. It's the parasite."
Me and the parasite and I are off.
What we're trying to say is we don't find. I think from this whole podcast, you can probably tell that we don't really have a filter. And we talk about anything and everything. And I actually think it's more weird for the person that doesn't talk about this stuff. And that's why I wanted to end this on a high of that we don't actually think you're weird.
Yeah, because that isn't weird. And when people make things weird is when people won't talk about it. And then when people actually have issues, they won't feel comfortable. Because it doesn't just stop at the poo. Because then what? Well, if you're having like a period issue or an issue down there.
That's a great topic, Leah, because I had issues and I thought it wasn't normal. And it was only when I started to tell you about it, probably about 5-6 years ago, it was that long ago, you were like, Sophie, that ain't normal. And then I went and got checked for endometriosis and everything like that. But yeah, like if you don't talk about it, and to be fair, they don't ever want to hear about my bowel movements or stuff.
Yeah, because sometimes, Sophie, I just think I've just woken up or like, I'm about to eat my breakfast.
And that's the thing, I have no filter, I have no barrier. But yeah, I think it's healthy to talk about that kind of stuff, and I don't think they're weird.
Okay, well that brings it to a nice close.
We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Oh my god, do you know what? When you edit this video back, what is this going to be like? I feel like it's going to be a train wreck.
Fun.
it's going to be an absolute.
But can you please let us know in the comments any weird things that your family did growing up that you thought was normal, but it actually wasn't? Because I do want to do more of these ones because I find them so like...
Do you know what? I actually do find these really fun because I feel like in the other ones we're more serious, but this one you can actually have some fun with it. Do you know what I mean?
And we can embarrass ourselves along the way.
Oh my god.
So yeah, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. And we will see you guys next week for another episode. Bye.
Bye.